Hi, welcome. We are officially kicking off day number 2, session 2, episode 2, whatever you want to call it, inside the power portal. Oh my gosh, I feel the vibe that today's going to be pretty freaking incredible for so many reasons. There's a part of me that wants to share a story. But I'm going to feel into that for a second and see if it's something that I really want to share. I kind of feel like I do. Let me feel. But in the meantime, as you're tuning in live, I want to thank you epically. Do you guys want to see my stomach? Do you want to see this belly? Like, I looked at the countdown today, and apparently we are 2 weeks and 2 days away from our projected due date, which really means nothing. You know, in the world of pregnancy, they can tell you approximately when they think that you can be due, but it could vary by a month. It could vary by 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. Is all within the range of normal. So my projected due date is actually Friday the 13th, which I don't know what I feel about that. But we're 2 weeks and 2 days away from that, which is kind of crazy. But you guys being here today and giving me something fabulous to tap into my power portal about, which we're going to talk about today. It's just such a blessing to me. You have no idea. It's been so cool to look at stories and see how many people have shared about this particular container in their stories, about this offer, this experience, this masterclass. Just seeing the tags, seeing, what people are saying about my masterclasses in general. It's just been really beautiful. So for you who are watching live, I just want to say thank you for giving me a lovely reason to tap into the portal today. Thank you for being here. Tell me hi in the comments. Let me know who you are. And you have to see, hang on, I'm going to show you how big this tummy is. She's like bigger than Sloan was. So check this out. I'm so excited. Like, so excited. I actually feel like she's going to be early. That's the feeling that I'm having. But I think I'm going to open today. I think I'm going to share a story. I think I'm ready for it. I am. I'm all bump. Haley's flying in to see me this morning. So Haley's flying in. I'm so excited. Another one of my friends and clients are flying in. My mom's coming. Yeah. So here's what we have for today. First of all, we have 2 really exciting offers for you. If you are wanting to really tap into opening the beauty portal and the power portal in your life, there are 2 exciting ways to engage with us that are going to be open for the full 2021. And the first way is something called Elite Turbo Glam. I'm going to be talking about it at the very end. But for those of you who were already thinking about it and it's like an effortless yes for you, there's a promotional pricing on it that ends today when I think it's 5 o'clock Eastern. So if you were thinking about doing Elite Turbo Glam, that is a typically $555 investment, and it gives you access to our beauty community, something like 50 tutorials, $250 worth of luxury cosmetics gets shipped to you when you join. And this is where you learn beauty rituals. So that is open, and promotional pricing on it right now is $444, and that ends tonight at 5 Eastern. And it'll be back up to $555. And then there's a second way that you can engage and work with us in 2021. It's called Confidence on Command. And the difference between the two containers is that with Elite Turbo Glam, you're in a full immersion 30-day experience where you learn how to do all of the beauty rituals. So basically makeup for camera from start to finish, everything. And it's like in 30-day sections. So you have a full 30 days to master it inside of a community with other women. But then we have like these super unicorn type of people, and they are a part of the population of our client list. And you can out yourself if you're a unicorn. Go ahead and drop a unicorn in the comments if you've done one of these before. But part of our brand has been like for years that we would host live events. We've done them all around the world, 2-day events where people master the 30 days of beauty rituals. They master it inside of 2 days. And so we have a 2-day intensive option that's fully hosted online for people who do not want to go through 30 days. They want to learn it like fast and hard. I have a girlfriend who cracked me up the other day. She said, I just like it fast and hard, okay? I was like, TMI, but yes, yes, you do. It's good that you can own that, girl. So we have an online intensive experience where you learn the full beauty protocol inside of 2 days. And it's made for, first of all, people who want a very natural, polished look in person for like attending meetings and things like that. Or just putting like a really fresh, professional, polished face forward. It's kind of like a no makeup look from the modeling industry. And then day 2 is all around red carpet, black tie, photography, like on camera film makeup. So you learn full blown smoky eye and like a look like this, you master it in 4 hours. So that's the fast and hard option. So right now we have the option available as well. It's called Confidence on Command. There's a link for it here. And right now when you purchase Confidence on Command, you also get all of 2021 access to Elite Turbo Glam. So you get the community and you get, the 2-day intensive, and you get to keep access for it for all of 2021. So lots to say there. I'll talk about it more at the end, but I just wanted to make anyone aware that was kind of thinking about it, that the promotional pricing on it ends tonight at 5 p.m. and then the prices go back up to normal. So we just do this for the babes who are live, watching it live. And then people will come in and they'll watch the replay and they'll go, well, shoot, can I get that price? So I want to thank those of you who have been to our live events. It's just, we've done I think we did 30 in a year one time or something ridiculous like that. We've done them all over the world. Our cosmetics are now in something like, my husband says it's 16, I think it's 13. But our cosmetics grace the faces of people in at least 13 countries. We ship internationally, and it's just such an honor to know that we are making a global impact. It's pretty insane. So that's the vibe of what we're doing promo-wise. But I kind of want to open this space today with a story. And I'm nervous, but I feel like I should share this. It's pretty wild, and I'm very woo. I'm learning that the older I get, the more woo I get, the more spiritually tapped in and interested that I get in all of this. And so I think I'm ready to share this little story. Haley, yep, there are links posted by Jessie, probably at the top of the group. So recently, I attended something called a cacao ceremony. Have you heard of this? CACAO, cacao. So people were really kind of confused about what this thing was. I posted a tiny snippet about it, and someone said, a chocolate ceremony? I'm in. I was like, I think it's more than that, but it's, for me, It could have been with a hot tea. I don't think it had to be with cacao. I think it was more about the intentionality and the space being set. So I'm part of some very specific women's circles, and with one of them, there was a cacao ceremony offered online, and it was like a 90-minute intentional thing. And just like what we do with our, our cosmetic clients and our beauty clients, is like, we want to give people a radical life-changing experience. So, like any good online experience, they briefed us and told us, like, okay, you're going to want to intentionally set up your space. You want to be in like a high vibe area where you're not going to be disrupted. And, this is a really intentional time. And here's how to prepare your cacao. It's kind of like drinking cocoa. So it's like, it's pregnancy safe. It's like a very specific type of cacao. Okay. So I asked Jessie from my team, who you'll interact with her as you buy from our brand. I asked Jessie from my team to mark off 90 minutes on my calendar so that I could be as if I were in a corporate meeting or meeting with a private client. So no one can interrupt. Like, this is my space, my time, hands off, block it on the calendar. And I am #not available. I'm not available for anything else. And I attended this ceremony. Now, this was, I think, my second or third interaction. Oh, that's awesome, Michelle. It was my second or third interaction with this particular host. It's a woman who she's very interested in work with ancestors. She's very tapped in spiritually, and I trust her. Like, I really do. I think she's phenomenal. And when she opened up this ceremony, it was like a 90-minute experience that incorporated breath work and, like, having a high vibe space and intentionality, which, if you've read any of my posts ever, that that's my vibe. I'm like, yes, girl, I'm in. So as we're opening the ceremony, she says, feel free to invite in any WELL ancestors. Now, depending upon your structure, your religious beliefs, and where you may have come from, and what you think about the afterlife and what happens when you die, etc., that could be really weird to hear. Personally, I have been on a journey since 2018 of being like, here for it. I'm here for it. So what she meant is, like, ancestors who are on the other side, they have already passed away, but they're well, mentally well, like physically well, not here with bad intentions. So a spiritual experience from people who have gone on before you, who love you and maybe want to communicate. So a lot of people are not open to this. And if you're not, I fully respect you. I want to say that. And also, this is my truth and this is my experience. So during this cacao ceremony, the first person that, like, showed up for me, essentially, and this looks different for everyone, but the first person that showed up for me often shows up for me. And it was my first husband. His passing was like 2018. And Sharana, that's funny. And we were already divorced when he passed. He was kind of like a not great presence in my life before he passed. There's a lot of crazy stuff there. But as soon as he passed away, I experienced him communicating in a way that, like, dang, I had no explanation for. It was weird to me. I came from a very strict religious background that was like anything that is not an angel has to be a demon. So if you are experiencing supernatural activity, like you need to cast that out in the name of Jesus. And if you entertain it, you must be going to hell. So like to have someone that was near and dear to me, that I was married to, die. And then my husband went on a trip for 10 days. And this thing started like, I shouldn't say this thing, like I knew in my gut that it was him. Like the bed started shaking in the morning. I had a lamp next to my bed and it would go. And like my current husband, Brad, was on a trip and I was like, what is happening? And then I started just encountering like an actual, like full-blown telepathic conversation with him. And I was like, I'm just desiring for this to happen. I'm making this up. And I went through months of looking for answers that could fit inside my cute Christian box and being like, okay, I don't want to be disapproved of. I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to think that I am into something that is bad. And also, undeniably, this person is trying to freaking talk to me. Weird. Okay, cool. So ever since then, I've been on kind of like an experiential journey around, you know, what actually happens when people are no longer here in their physical bodies. And it has led me actually to my journey with sensuality. Haley, you're making me laugh. Michelle, you too. Because as I began to study this, I asked really interesting questions like, when we die, when we are no longer in our physical bodies, what happens? And how come I've only been given this story that when we are no longer here, we just like float up to the clouds and hang out in, you know, heaven all day? What is that? Where is that? Do other people go to heaven? I had all these questions. And I started doing research. And I came across so many interesting conversations. I came across conversations where people said that they had like died momentarily and come back, like people who had near-death experiences, like they would die during a surgery and be revived and come back and explain what they saw, or get in a car accident and die momentarily and then come back and say what they saw. And what really blew my mind was that people started to study this as a nascent science. There's a whole subculture of people who study what happens before we come here in our souls and what happens when we die. They have full-blown conventions. I was like, this is a thing. Like, people study this. This is a real thing. And one of the most shocking things that I read was that, and I heard it on a podcast as well, and I've shared this with some of my most dearest clients, is that people say, who have, you know, passed and come back, that what we are told is not really the reality of what's happening there. That it's this incredible place of like learning and expansion. And that when you're on the other side, you can like influence things. You can learn to use butterflies. You can learn to use birds. You can learn to use wind. Like, flying objects are the easiest to communicate with people that you love. And that once you're up there or out there or wherever it is, that people can get more knowledge, study things, and choose to come back. I was like, wait, is this a thing? And then I asked one of my friends who's like a big Bible thumper. I was like, question. is reincarnation like a possibly mentioned in scripture? And they're like, yeah, John the Baptist. I was like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? They're like, there's so much that has been taken out and, reintegrated and worked over, and we just don't have the full picture. And so I've been on a very heart open journey of just exploring. So I'm in this cacao ceremony, and the first person that shows up is my first husband. And what I see with my eyes closed as I'm like intentionally being in this moment of the cacao ceremony is I see him show up, and I see a vision of our backyard when I was living in California. And it was a sunset in the desert. It's a city called Bonsall. And his voice pops up. It sounds like I'm thinking, but in his voice. That's how it comes through for me. And he said something along the lines of like thank you for that season of our life together. Like that time that we lived in California was everything that he dreamed of as a little kid. It was so everything he ever wanted. And he loved that season of life with me so much. And he was like, that was the best part of my life. Like, thank you so much for that part of our life together. And then he vanished. And as soon as he left, I felt so sad. Not because he left, but because my recollection of that time in our life together was not good. He loved it. Hashtag, I hated it. I was like, that part of my life was so stressful, so hard. I felt like I was sacrificing my identity and my desires, my career, what I wanted, who I was. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, there were so many pieces of it that didn't feel good to me. And yet from a different space, he was saying, thank you for it. It was like the best part of my life. And in that moment, I was in this cacao ceremony, and I got so sad. And I was like, literally, like, that is my life. That is one of my masculine patterns, is mothering other people to my own detriment, making sure other people are happy, no matter how sad it makes me. Performing for other people, hoping that like someday I'll get paid back. Like, that's not a good pattern. And as I sat with that, I was like, well, damn, I do that in a lot of places. I've done that with siblings. I've done that with friends. I've done that with neighbors. I've done that with family. I did that with clients for a long time. Give. And they're happy and I'm sad. And I know that this is something that is breaking off of me in my life, and I'm intentionally aware of it and working through it and recognizing when it happens. And this is part of sensuality and luxury for me, is the knowing that as a woman, I have been very self-sacrificial to the point of making myself sick, like almost thinking that I was going to die, striving, working, pushing, proving my worth, showing up for other people when I don't want to. Like, everything was self-sacrifice. And part of it had to do with that biblical background that I spoke on, thinking that potentially if I just gave enough, that somehow it would multiply and come back to me. So there's a really old set of coding there, if you want to call it that. It's like computer coding, like it's coded in there from generations back. And in this cacao ceremony, I became very aware of it. Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany's one of my favorite private clients, and I love, thank you for what you just said. Thank you, girl. Someone said I have a sizable bag of it. Do you mean old coating? What do you have a sizable bag of? I realized that the beauty game for a lot of people is around, of cacao. I thought someone was saying that they had a sizable bag of old coating. I was like, that's a funny way to say that. That is what we call baggage. Yeah. So the beauty issue falls under this category of like old coating, proving ourselves to others, fitting a mold for other people, self-sacrifice. And I really want to talk about that today. But I want to open today with literally the meaning of a portal. It's like a doorway. It's a gateway. It's an entrance. I want to open the portal today to this conversation by saying that I had this realization inside of this cacao ceremony of like, wow, like even from the other side, the communication is like, oh my God, thank you so much for everything that you did for me. And me feeling not thanked or gratitude, but feeling sad and being like, wow, glad it was so great for you, but it was horrible for me. That's flipping sad. Anybody else resonate with that feeling? So I sat with it. We were doing some breath work in this cacao ceremony. And I was open. I invited. I was like, yeah, any well ancestors who want to come through with a message. Personally, I was hoping for Grandma June because, that's my girl. On our packaging for our brand, like the XMH Beauty piece, like the beauty word, that's my Grandma June's handwriting. And I'm like, Grandma June, come through, girl. You got something for me today? Come through. Pull some strings for me. I have legitimately felt like she's been pulling strings for all the entrepreneurs in our family since she passed. So I was open for it. I was like, here for it. Any well ancestors, come through, boo. I'm glad that this is landing because this is a very raw space for me. It's new for me to share this deeply about this topic. But it's just the moment that has to happen. So when I was a little girl, this gives me chillies. Gives me chills to think about. When I was a little girl, I was in private school. I went to a private Lutheran school, and one of our adventures that we went on, field trips, was that our class, I think I was probably in fourth grade, fifth grade, we went to a primitive schoolhouse for the day. Primitive schoolhouse. So like an 18 and 1900s schoolhouse where, we had to write with a quill pen, like a feather quill pen dipped in ink, churn butter, make ice cream from actual cream and salt and whatever else, make hand dipped beeswax candles. You to dress like a pilgrim to go that day. So I don't know where the hell my mom pulled a pilgrim outfit from, but whatever. I guess they had a pattern at my school, to follow, how to be a pilgrim. I have no idea. And your assignment was you were supposed to, who said I did your life? Are you Mennonite or Amish or what? I can't see some people's names because I'm streaming from a third-party app. That's so hilarious. Okay, so the assignment was you had to pick the name of an ancestor. Oh, Sarah Jordan. That's awesome. You had to pick the name of an ancestor. And so my Grandma June and I pulled out the family tree, and I was like, help me pick the name of someone that I get to be for the day at this primitive schoolhouse. And we went back and we found a name that sounded cool to me, that like rang the bell for me. And it was someone that died far before I was born. It was somebody named Rabina Thompson. I was like, that's like Robin with an A on the end, like Tina. So Rabina. I like that name. So I had my primitive outfit with my name tag that said Rabina Thompson. And I went to the primitive schoolhouse and I was literally her for the day. Like that was the whole vibe. You were supposed to be your ancestor for the day. I'm like, cool, sweet, I did it. So during this cacao ceremony, I'm sitting with this emotion of like, how many times have I sacrificed myself for other people's happiness? And I was legitimately flipping miserable and proving something to someone and not wanting to be wrong and wanting to be the sacrificial lamb and the martyr. And how many times have I done this? And I really was not flipping happy. How many times have I done this? And then came forward Rabina Thompson. And like, I'm like meditative, like my eyes are closed, I'm in the moment. And like, I come into awareness of the name Rabina Thompson. And she shows me the name tag on my dress. And she says, thank you so much for bringing me into this time-space reality. Thank you for honoring me that way. Thank you for bringing me here. And also, I want to show you something. And I see 4 figures. It's her and 3 others. And what she's showing me is that there are 4 other lifetimes of women who had this coding of self-sacrifice, of performance, of martyrdom, of showing up for other people, of doing things how other people wanted them done, even though they weren't happy. Even though the woman wasn't happy, they lived a life for someone else and they were not happy, satisfied. And their belief system was that someday, some way, they would be rewarded. And this is a very religious construct. A lot of people buy into this because of like their religious beliefs. And I'm not pinging any specific religion, but a lot of people just think like, whether it's sowing and reaping or karma or energetics, like whatever you want to call it, people think, well, if you put enough good out there, it has to double and come back to you, or triple or tenfold or 100-fold or whatever you believe. And what oh my gosh, my mom was watching. Hi, what's up, girl? You do need to listen to this. It's so good. So what she was showing me was that there are 4 lifetimes in my ancestral lineage of women who lived like this. And they all believed that if they behaved enough and performed enough and gave enough, that somehow it would be repaid back to them. But in their physical lifetime, because they didn't know how to receive, open the portal, step into feminine energy, because they had no idea how to shut off the performance, shut off the people pleasing, shut off the showing up for other people, shut off the striving, because they didn't know how to do that. They fully did not know how to receive in their physical lifetime, that they died with a lot of things due to them. All that multiplied good, all that karma, all that reaping that was available for all of their sowing, they never collected in their lifetime. So she's showing me herself and 3 other lifetimes. I don't know who the other 3 are, but she's like, basically like, you are the next section of us. And we have all of this stuff due to our family, our lineage, and it was uncollected in our lifetimes. So anytime that you want to not work so hard, not strive so much, not perform so hard, not prove yourself so many times, not sacrifice your happiness on the altar of being right in someone else's eyes, you can literally just ask, because we have a whole bunch stored up and we're so happy to bring it your way. It's just like you can receive it on our behalf because we didn't know how to collect it. And the message that I received out of that was like, it's not about working harder, proving more, being better, being the best, sacrificing, giving, etc. It was literally like leaning into the feminine, which is like that 500 plus on the energetic scale of emotions. It's all feminine energy. I know. I almost cry talking about it. Like I have goosebumps on my shoulders talking about it. Yeah. You know, what an experience. And I will say that since then, and this happened within like the last month, I really have sat with that. And I believe, you know, this is my personal belief. This is how I feel. This is who I am. But I believe that like when I pray, I believe in a creator. Like that's my vibe. That's what I think. And I also ask. That's weird, Haley. When I ask for things, I ask obviously like who I think is like the creator, like the source. And I also ask like if I have any angels available or any of those ancestors who have good intent for me, like, can you please go to the four corners of the earth and gather me stuff so that I don't have to push so hard because I'm pregnant. I'm sorry, guys. Will it help if I move my mic? Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, let's see. Okay, is this more helpful at all? Let me know about the sound. If it's still there, I can take off the microphone. You guys are like, okay, it's static. Okay, hang on. Is it better? I'm going to wait for 4 seconds and say, I think it's just frequency as you're talking, nothing bad. It sounds good. That's cool. Okay, let me know if it comes back. Like this has been, you know, a very vulnerable place for me personally to share things like this, you know, because not everyone shares these belief structures. But I will say that since I've been leaning a lot more into luxury and sensuality and the feminine, you know, and it's balanced because I'm a woman in business. I'm a CEO. Like the show must go on. There are launches planned. Like even in my maternity leave, we have product launches planned. We pre-created like the video content. We had our videographer come, and actually we filmed it in this room. This room is a flippin' vibe. It's like we set up a second background in this room. Our videographer came, professional camera, all the lighting, all the stuff.
We pre-created our video tutorials for my maternity leave. Like, I'm a CEO. Like, there's some masculine energy definitely happening there. There's strategy. There's things always going. Like, our clients are so well taken care of. Because we have so much cool stuff up our sleeve for like Elite Turbo Glam and stuff like that. So there's the masculine piece of me for sure, but I have so much like leaned into trust. And even the other night, I literally was just like praying, and I was just like, I don't want to hustle so bad. I want to be a magnet. I want to tap into the power portal. I want to tap into what's available to me as a woman in power. Not the striving, not the lower things on the scale, like pushing so hard, competition, revenge, dominance. Like, those are the lower things on the scale of emotion, the frequency of like masculinity. I don't want to be in that so much. I want to be able to, like, my desire is to trust more and to tap into the power portal. It's brazen. Tiffany's like, is this brazen or justice? I did brazen today, and I threw some heroin on top. So as I'm praying this, I'm praying the other night in the middle of the night because, I'm awake. The baby's kicking, she's moving, and I'm awake. And I just started asking, like, God and all my angels and these ancestors that are showing up for me, like, will you go and collect things for me? Will you send me good things? Will you send me, surprises and blessings and clients and things, that I'm not hustling so hard for? Will you help me tap in to the power portal out of a space of sensuality and artistry and luxury? And it was weird. Like, I think like $5,000 cash came in that day out of nowhere, unexpected, not repeat business. It was like out of the blue business, new people in my world. Haley, isn't it? Will you go and collect things for me that are due to us? Because I'm here to receive it. Yeah, wow, Carolina. Wow. Oh my gosh. So interesting. So I meant for that story to be shorter, but it is what it is. And I trust that how it was told was the perfect amount of time, because it's so on topic for the rest of what we have to talk about today and tomorrow. Now I have notes for tomorrow because this took like more time than I thought. Haley said, yes, please, I'll have what she's having. Tiffany Q. Also, congratulations to Haley and Tiffany. They both graduated from our mastermind yesterday, The Magic. Congratulations. Love you girls so much. Tiffany said the whole doing, proving, masculine driven is a big turnoff now. I used to be that, and now I can tell when others are in that. Oh, I know. It is a turnoff. She says, I love having a balance now. Me too. Because I think when you're too far into the feminine, it's like things are loosey-goosey and things don't get done. But when you're so far in the masculine, like, you work 10 times harder to get the result that you could get if you stepped a little bit more into the power portal. So today I want to talk. Oh my gosh. That's so cool, Carolina. Today I want to talk more about this power portal, because what I have to say around opening the portal, I want to make it crystal freaking clear to you. This is a choice that you make on a daily basis. If you choose not to open the portal to power on this energetic scale of emotion, if you're unaware of it, you will work 10 times harder. You will work 10 times harder to get the result that you could get if you stepped into this energetic portal that is available. So for some of you, this is going to be like a big breakthrough moment of just understanding what's happening in your life and why it's happening. And sometimes awareness is ultimately what guides you into your next movement. For some of you, you're going to decide that you want your life to consist of actual luxury and art, and that you want to open the portal to power every day. And so you'll join things like Elite Turbo Glam and turn this into a lifestyle for yourself and give yourself an energetic upgrade every day of your life. Any day it suits you. But either way, I want to share. Wow, Carolina, I love you. So today's topic is around the beauty reframe. And I have notes here, so if I'm not looking at you, I just want to make sure that I cover it. I will say this. After a full-blown 10-year career in the high-end beauty industry, I'm not talking about, I was dinking around in the little baby salon, high-end beauty, luxury, high-end spas and salons, working with celebrities after a 10-year career in that industry. Me personally styling the image of 75 plus high profile individuals, celebrities, media personalities, heads of government, heads of CIA, founders of Facebook, Twitter, Square app, Instagram, Elon Musk type people. Those were my clients when I lived in California. After styling people like that, 10 years in the industry, 5 years as a celebrity makeup artist, styling the best of the best, the cream of the crop, helping people to make, I was the decision maker for how they looked on camera. When I wasn't working on celebrities, it was thousands of clients annually, thousands of clients. One year I had 300 brides in a year. If there's 365 days in a year, I styled 300 brides in 1 year. How is that possible? I was styling the most important day of some women's lives 3 to 5 days a week, churning it out. The level of perfection, artistry, imagination, creativity, the high level skill that was there. Then going on to develop a cosmetic brand around the expertise with over 200 successful launches. We have launched over 200 different products that sold out. That's a lot. That's a lot of expertise. That's a lot of people touch. That's a lot of people. $1 million in organic revenue. I think we hit that 2 years ago. I stopped counting. I was okay. Awesome. Generating over $160,000 for sex trafficking survivors and other humanitarian efforts. We were trying for $100,000. We have done over $160,000 for our charities of choice. a lot of impact, a lot of lives touched, a lot of people involved in that. It's a lot of clients served over my career. Personally, I had what do you call it? I had our team look to see like how many clients are in our current database, and it's like 800 something cosmetic clients in our current database. Like 800 people who buy our products. That's insane. It was like 853 clients who use our brand, repeat buyers. They might not be in places like Elite Turbo Glam or, Confidence on Command because they did it in previous years when those containers were open, but they're like repeat buyers. That's insane. When I think about those numbers, guiding thousands of people through beauty rituals, like personally doing the beauty rituals for literally thousands of people over my lifetime, this is what I know to be true. Women and men have some really strong feelings about beauty. I would say they have like a big bag of baggage around beauty. It's a lot of flipping baggage. Just even around the word beauty. It means a lot of weird things to a lot of people. It's loaded. It's energetically charged. People hate it. People love it. People obsess over it. They feel inadequate about it. It's like the full scale of emotions around this one word, beauty. And the way that I see it, there's a huge reframe needed. And this is what I've been talking about a lot in my posts on social media, is that I truly feel that the way that beauty is presented to the consumer market, like, let's start there. It needs a flipping reframe. So I will be the first to say that I used to sell beauty products from the same space energetically that the consumer industry sells beauty products. And that is the knowledge that most women feel low on the energetic scale. They want a revenge body. That's a whole TV show. They want a revenge body. They want to go to the holiday party and outshine the people that screwed them over. They want to see their ex and they want their ex to be sorry. They want to prove to the person who bullied them in high school that they're hot now. They want to bump into their ex and his girlfriend, and they want to be better looking than the girlfriend. There's all these different weird charged things around beauty, and they're pretty low on the energetic scale of emotion. And then there's other women who really feel like inadequate. Like beauty for them it's like a fix it. Like it's like popping a pill to fix it. To fix their feelings of inadequacy, of not pretty enough, not enough, shame. There's a lot going on there. And then we have this whole other sect of people who are very religious, or, they don't feel great about themselves. And so they would prefer it if women don't feel great about themselves either. And so the programming is either if you wear too much cosmetics or not enough, you are ugly or a slut. It's like very strange. There's programming out there that if women are flirted with or touched or otherwise, have their boundaries crossed, and if they look a certain way, that it was invited. It's not an invitation. Being a piece of art is not an invitation, and it's not okay. So there's all this charge. There's people who don't feel great about themselves. And so when someone else feels great about themselves, they want them to be very quiet and to stop it. So someone with low self-esteem has an encounter with someone who's like very luxury, and so criticism comes out. They're like, who does she think she is? How long does that take? Who has time for that? She must be a shitty mom. She's got that much time to sit in front of a mirror and do makeup, do something more constructive with your life. Like, it's just a lot of critique. Or my all-time favorite that I just posted about the other day is when I post pictures with no makeup on because I love myself with or without makeup. And people like sneak come into the inbox and they say, I just like you so much better without all that makeup. So it's like a little backhanded compliment. And it's always a projection. It tells me how they feel about themselves or beauty in general. But it's really emotionally charged. Yeah, that little husband comment. And like, he picked that up somewhere. I'm not going to criticize anyone's husband, but like, he picked that idea up somewhere. It's kind of like when we see guys with like really loud sports cars and we go like, oh, he's overcompensating for something. Maybe he just freaking loves luxury. We don't know. Personally, I haven't seen the man's package or what he can do with it. So how would I know? Maybe he just likes Corvettes and big engines. I don't know. But see, this is a projection. Oh, that's awesome, Tiffany. So the point that I want to make is that there's a lot of emotional charge around the word beauty. And I think it starts with the way that it's presented to the consumer economy and the way that I used to present it, because I knew that women felt disempowered. And it's kind of a really sad marketing strategy, but disempowered people are very easy to influence. We talked about the energetic scale on Monday, and I want to alert your eyeballs to something. Most marketing for anything, including beauty products, is aimed at people who are sitting at around a frequency of 125, which is people who are in need, compulsion, unfulfilled desire, and craving love, craving attention, craving anything, craving to feel. So most marketing is designed, especially in the beauty industry, to either be targeting people who already feel like hot garbage. And if they're not already feeling that way, it is targeted to remind them to feel that way so that they purchase. It's rather sickening. Just consider that the next time that you see a commercial for anything. Most marketing is written to people who are operating at the frequency of 125 in their emotions, unfulfilled, unhappy, craving something, missing something in their life. And if you aren't already at 125 on the scale of frequency, marketing is aimed to put you there. Between the frequency of the music that's used, the tonality of the voice. Just think of different commercials or even the imagery that you see. It reminds you that you have an unfulfilled compulsion or desire to eat that thing or take that thing or have that life or look that way. So the old school paradigm of how products in general have been brought to market is to remind people that they're underperforming across the board. They are unfulfilled. But if you buy this thing, you will feel something different. You can fix that. The pizza, the beer, the pharmaceutical, the lipstick, the diet pill, the exercise bike. If you buy this thing, you're going to feel different. And that's some baggage that people have around beauty because they've been made to feel badly about themselves. And some people have woken up to it and they have decided that no longer, this is a generational thing. Some women have woken up to the fact that they are sick and freaking tired of pleasing other people. And so they decide that they are going to opt out of beauty in general because they're like, I'm sick of the societal programming. I'm sick of the patriarchy. I'm sick of people telling me how to look and how to show up. And I want to be self-fulfilled and self-empowered. And I don't have to look a certain way to have that happen for me. And that's true. So here is the founder of a beauty company saying, makeup doesn't make you. Never has, never will. That's a dangerous thing for me to say. But it all comes full circle into this conversation around the fact that there are so many reasons that people shame or reward others around their beauty, their appearance, how they show up, their performance, and that a lot of women are living very self-sacrificially to prove something to someone. They do their makeup a certain way to prove their worth. It's not even about luxury for them. It's not about an experience. It's not about using their five senses, that they came to this literal experience of life to utilize. Like back to that conversation at the very beginning, this study that I have around the afterlife, I'm very fascinated with it. And there is a teacher named Roberta Grimes who's phenomenal. She was like a lifelong Christian and started studying all these things about the afterlife. And she says that, on the other side, souls miss things like sex in a sandwich. Like you don't have access to your sensuality the way that you do when you're in a human body. You don't have access to the way that your hair feels, or the feeling of your hands on your skin, or a makeup brush, or hugging your partner, or luxuriating in a shower and feeling like the water hit you. You don't have access to a kiss. You don't have access to taste a sandwich or smell the vanilla extract in your lip product. Like you don't have access to that. And so part of our entire journey of coming here and having a human experience is to have a sensual, five senses experience, to tap into luxury, the feeling of great comfort. To be aware of this is to live life as an art form. I have a friend named Melissa Buffington, and she has this whole concept about life being art. And I've really gravitated towards that. Because the way of our current economy and the way marketing is and society is and our phones are, it's like we legitimately are tapped out of the sensual. When the phone is here all day long, are you really paying attention to the leaves on the trees, or the position of the sun in the sky, or the way that you or your partner or your family or your child look? Are you tasting your food? Like there's so much that we're tapped out of because of the current construct that we live in. And I'll talk more about this tomorrow, but what I want to bring full circle today is the fact that when we live in an energy of proving ourselves to other people, it's such a low frequency experience. I talked Monday about how beauty routine is an oxymoron. The literal frequency of beauty is so high, like the frequency of art is so high, like 505. And the word routine is so low. It's like 200. It's just above sadness. Routine is just above depression. So we live in this very masculinized society that has to explain everything away and reason everything away and turn things that are so high frequency into like a routine or distract you from them altogether. And on Monday, I basically said, like, F the routine. Not here for it. I'm not with that vibe. Beauty is not routine. Beauty is so extravagant. Beauty is a portal. It's a power portal. I love the feeling of looking up words, because you hear these interesting terms all the time, like, portal and vortex, and you're like, what is that? What's a portal? What's a vortex? And I feel a massive reframe and like a revolution around this for beauty. Because when you look up the word portal, it means like a doorway, a gateway. So imagine when you take the routine, the energy of routine out of beauty, imagine what can happen. Imagine when we reframe beauty and we stop looking at it as something to prove ourselves or to make us more worthy or to fix something that's wrong with us. And we lay all of that weird energy aside. And we decide that beauty is going to be something that we use to open a portal. Let's talk about the power behind that. If you were here for us, or if you were here with us on Monday, and I was discussing like the energetic scale of emotion, frequency, energy. Just below beauty, I love words. Just below beauty on the energetic frequency, it's like the gateway to beauty is imagination, creativity. Think about your beauty ritual, the makeup you put on, the way that you adorn yourself, the jewelry you wear, the way you do your hair, the way that you put on body moisturizer, like everything. Think about the rituals that you do. If you stopped doing them out of an energy of doing it for other people, living for others, sacrificing for others, showing up the way that you think others want you to do it, and instead you took an entirely reframed approach to beauty, and it looked like, okay, every day I'm going to intentionally open up a gateway to more power in my life. And it has to start by breaking out of the masculine paradigm and going into something like imagination and creativity. Now, this is where women get a blocker on makeup and cosmetics, because they're like, I can't even be imaginative or creative. I cannot do a flipping smoky eye to save my life. I don't understand contouring. Like, I played with that five times, and every single time it looks stupid and it's a mess. So There's nothing imaginative about this. It's all an act. It's all performance driven, and I suck at it. So that's not working for me. I want to invite you to think about beauty from the perspective of like, do you imagine the first times that you brushed your teeth that it looked very sexy? I have a 20 or 21 month old, and she's learning how to brush her teeth. She loves to brush her little teeth. And she's not coordinated with it quite yet. I don't even think she gets all of her teeth. But she's learning. She's building the muscle. She's stacking the skill every time that she tries it. She's getting better. This is really weird for me to think about, but not, because I'm very sensual. But I know that there's going to be a day that comes when my daughter, who is learning how to brush her teeth right now, is going to be a full-grown woman, and she is going to be able to brush her teeth while engaging in a full-blown conversation and batting her eyelashes at whoever her partner is and spit sexily into the sink. That's weird to think about. But it's not, because I'm a woman and I do that. The first times that I brushed my teeth, probably toothpaste everywhere. If I'm not careful, that can still happen. But the skill of brushing my teeth has stacked over time, and I got better and better and better at it. And the skill turned into mastery. I can now brush all of my teeth. Michelle Evady's like, new life goal, sexy spitting of toothpaste. I mean, have you ever been in the first week of, or the first night with someone, and first morning, and you're like brushing your teeth and talking to them, and like how you spit in the sink? It's like sexy. Makeup is the same way. Cosmetics and beauty rituals are the same way. You guys are cracking me up. You get the skill. You stack the skill by practicing. The skill turns into mastery. And from mastery, it becomes an art. Just like the brushing of the teeth can be a conversational event, you can look like a piece of art while doing it. Cosmetics are the same. But I think that there's a couple things, and we're going to really deep dive on this tomorrow. There's blockades that women have around even attempting or trying, because it truly is a power portal. Not even sure if they can hold it. The power of being seen, holding the gaze of so many, being the center of attention. Can they handle the power? It's interesting. But this whole concept of taking beauty out of being a routine or something that you do for other people and turning it into a luxury, sensual experience, artistry that you do for yourself, for your own enjoyment, to raise your own frequency first. Tapping into 475, creativity. Imagination. Art. That moment at the makeup table, at the vanity, that intentional moment in the morning, the way that you do everything creates 505 beauty. The beauty's for you first. It's not about manipulating someone else's experience. It's literally to raise your own frequency first. And this is why I feel that beauty is not cookie cutter. And I'm so excited to have like 50 like tutorials inside of our program, inside of Elite Turbo Glam, is because I think that beauty should be customizable. I don't think that it's cookie cutter. I think that you should try all the different skills and stack all the different skills and see what suits your fancy. It's for you. It's the level that you want to play on. It's how smoky of an eye do you want? It's how big of a lash do you want? It's how minimalist do you want? It's how glowy do you want? It's how matte do you want? It's how bold do you want? It's how subtle do you want? It's how provocative do you want? It's fully customizable to the level of artistry that you want for you personally. You do it for you first. But I want to call your attention. I know you guys, you're going to make a trend, sexy spitting. Show us your sexiest toothbrushing vids. That's going to like trend inside of our group sometime this year. Just watch. It's funny. The vibe is you open the portal. Tiffany said, please put sexy spitting into Elite Turbo Glam. You guys are so funny. You intentionally open a portal to power by tapping into your 5 senses, creating artistry. You open a portal to more wealth. Everything that is higher on the scale than beauty, you are literally opening an energetic gate to them every time that you do your beauty rituals for you, out of luxury, out of a sense of great comfort, not out of proving yourself to someone else or hitting someone else's standard or doing it because you think you should. Fully customizing your beauty ritual to how you want to feel as a moving, living, breathing piece of art. I have this feeling. I had opportunity to have like a 24-hour layover accidentally in Paris one time with Brad. And I was an art student when I was younger. And so like everybody wants to go to the Louvre. Like if you are an art person, like you have got to go to the Louvre at some point in your life. It's like the most iconic art collection, right? So the Louvre. We went there, and this is another thing that my friend Melissa Buffington really like called to my heart and called to my attention. The fact that beauty is a universal language. How is it possible that something like 40 people were standing crowded in front of the same piece of art? And we were probably from 20 different countries minimum. So many different ages, from tiny kids to senior citizens, all different races, all different language, like language barriers galore, different fashion, different levels of income, and all united, standing in close proximity to each other to look at a piece of art. Beauty and art are a universal language. If we will choose to pull the masculine routines out of beauty, when we will stop making it something that we define people by, as far as, are they good enough? Are they worthy? Like if we stop using it as a proving energy, and when we embrace beauty as an art form, an energetic frequency that we can tap into every day, you open a gateway, a doorway, and walk through it into something that is so magnetic, a frequency that is so magnetic that it transcends age barriers, race barriers, language barriers, income brackets. Beauty is so transcendent that even more than just like creating a portal for you to go to the higher emotions and frequencies above it, I believe it creates a vortex. Do you guys know what I mean by a vortex? Like, can you picture a vortex? It's like swirling water or swirling air, swirling energy. That's like a funnel shape, right? Beauty is like a magnet for more in your life. First, it affects you, but then it also creates a vortex of everything that's higher than it to come to you more. I'm talking more experiences with divinity, more tapped into spirituality, more appreciation from others towards you. Oh my gosh, Michelle, that's so cool. Michelle says vortex symbols always appear in my art. You know what is right above the word beauty on the energetic scale? The next frequency up is actual power. Earlier, I was talking about, when you do things in like, this proving energy, it's a very disempowered place, like proving your worth, proving your value, showing up for other people, self-sacrificing, looking, acting, behaving, and doing what other people want you to do, even if you're flipping miserable. It's like a proving energy. It's very disempowered. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's very low on the scale. But higher, when we approach beauty from this space of like, I'm intentionally opening a doorway, a gateway, I'm walking through the doorway, and I'm going to pull in so much more for myself. It's like you don't have to push as hard because you're tapped into the highest frequencies. You're literally creating a swirling vortex, a funnel of actual power down to you. You don't have to strive so hard. You don't have to push so hard. You magnetize people, experiences, luxury, sensuality, money, capital, clients, cash. You magnetize it towards you through a vortex, a power portal. I stand for women understanding that this is the power of beauty. Beauty is not a routine. It is a power portal, an open gate, one that you manufacture by tapping into artistry, imagination. You open the portal to more wealth, the life of your dreams, the love of your dreams, the spirituality, the divine connection of your dreams. Like, you legitimately open the portal. Beauty is the portal. It's the open door. You do that with intention. If women understood that this is what they were doing, I think we would have a lot more ease and grace. I think we'd have a lot more unintentional miracles. I think we'd have a lot more special things coming to us. And it's literally one of the most relaxing things on the planet to tap into your sensuality and be like, I think I'm just going to like luxuriate this morning in front of my mirror and create a piece of art. I'm going to adorn my life. Shifts my frequency first, affects everyone around me. Universal language of attraction. But what I'm going to close today by saying is twofold. One is, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, now that we understand what it means to actually open this vortex, open this power portal. I want to say this. I think on a really deep level, women do understand. I think it's an ancient knowing. I think it's women's wisdom. I think on a very deep level, women do know that this is available. And I think men know it too. And I think it terrifies both. I think women don't know if they can hold the power. I don't know if they can stand to be seen for all that they are. I think it's our hidden gift. And this is why it's been so discombobulated. So tomorrow we're going to shatter and reconstruct some belief systems around what stops women from tapping in. Going to rewire some things, going to recode some things tomorrow. And I also want to close today. Yeah, I think it will, Tiffany. I also want to close today with an invitation that I know that there's some people that are like, oh my gosh, like I'm the furthest thing away from being able to create art in a luxury feeling because cosmetics are frustrating, or maybe you have a lot of baggage around this topic, or maybe you're scared to be seen. And so it's putting up all these blockades for you about like, I don't even think I can do it. Like me and sexy are not in the same sentence currently. And I'm like, okay, so tomorrow we're gonna mindset deep dive on why that might be. And for today, I want to invite you to actually step into your power and your desire and take an action. You heard me at the very beginning mention Elite Turbo Glam and Confidence on Command. This is my whole career. The visibility architect, the image consultant, the cosmetic expert, broken up into bite-sized pieces, digestible, practical pieces for women who want to skill stack and go from the initial skill to being able to have an intuitive art form at their fingertips. They want beauty to be not a routine, not a performance, but a ritual. A high frequency luxury ritual that opens a portal, a doorway, a vortex to wealth, love, magnetism, divinity, spirituality, sensuality, appreciation, gratitude, literally the life of their dreams. They want to access that portal, but there's a gap to close, and you want to close the gap. The 2 ways that we have available for you that are open from now through the end of the year, you have access the whole time, are Elite Turbo Glam. It's number 1. It's typically $555. Right now it's $444 for like the next 30 minutes. After that, it just goes back to normal price tomorrow, which is more than worthy. It's actually very underpriced. It's about a $20,000 makeup education packed into like a $555 experience, which is insane. It's all the things that if you literally packed up your life and moved to Hollywood and took makeup courses from celebrity makeup artists for $20,000, which I did, it's all the things you would learn. They're broken up into about 10-minute videos. You get a new video every day. You get a community to play in, super encouraging women to hang out with. And you skill stack during 30-day full immersion experiences, and you learn the actual skill. Inside 30 days, women have mastery. Oh my gosh, Michelle's in there. Michelle said, your elite turbo glam is all the energy, all the lightning bolts. The average client who comes in goes from sometimes zero or minimal makeup skills, or sometimes mediocre makeup skills, to like full-blown smoky eye contour, highlighting, knows how to do lashes, understanding skincare. Inside of 30 days, they go from like maybe like a level 2 to a level 10, like full-blown 10 on the scale of skill. 10 was the best. I would stack our clients up against any makeup counter after 30 days. They can outshine makeup artists at a makeup counter. They understand more about tonality, structure, eye spacing, smoky eye, placement, color matching. Like our clients inside of 30 days, I would stack them up against people at a makeup counter. Like the workers at Macy's. I know, I've also worked there. Our clients are flipping phenomenal inside of 30 days. That experience is available. There are really yummy gifts with purchase. When you purchase yourself access to that particular group, you retain access until the end of the year. So it's like almost 6 months, which is crazy. I love you guys. You make me feel so special. Thank you. And when you purchase access to the education, you receive our luxury contour palette, our Expert Series brush set, and another beauty tool. It's about a $250 value, and that gets shipped to you as soon as you sign up. So fun. If you're checking out today, I want to tell you there's a little something in the search bar on our website called Meet Your Match. Trust me, just do it. Save yourself a week. Save yourself the shipping time. So grab Elite Turbo Glam membership. You're going to get all of your goodies, and then also select and Meet Your Match. It's going to help you to know what your base colors are, and that way our team can serve you the best. So at checkout, get a Meet Your Match. Don't leave without the Meet Your Match. Just saying. It just saves you time and shipping cost. The second way that you can work with us this year includes Elite Turbo Glam. So you'll get access to that group. You'll get the bonuses, but it's a faster paced experience is what my friend was joking about. She said she likes things hard and fast. And I was like, oh my God, TMI, but okay. Yes. Here for it. It's a 2-day full immersion experience. It's an intensive. It's all online. But you basically get that 30 days of makeup mastery inside of 2 days. It's amazing. It's typically over $2,000. It's usually like $2,222. And I think right now it's promotional price for like the next 23 minutes. I want to say it's maybe like $1,777 or $1,555 or something like that. You get more makeup with it, product credit to shop. Our team will help you. Like, it's a vibe. So you get the 2-day intensive plus Elite Turbo Glam access and a bunch of goodies. That's a vibe. This is for people who, especially if like you're an online influencer, you want to be empowered to do your own makeup for photo shoots and things like that, or you just want to learn super fast because you're like, I don't have a month. Give it to me in 2 days. I want to do this in 2 days. You will do this in 2 days. We have I think we have like a 99 point something % success rate for people who go through our 2-day classes. Yep. The only way you can screw it up is by not showing up. It's pretty cool. So those are the two ways, the two experiences that we have available for you. And I will say my team is going to be supporting our clients, and I will be hanging out in Elite Turbo Glam too, even when I'm on maternity leave. So I love coming in there. I love seeing what all of our clients are up to, their makeup selfies. I give feedback regularly. I'm in there like coaching, encouraging with our clients. So it's a place that I hang out, and I will be hanging out there during my maternity leave. Shh, don't tell anyone. But that's one of my things that I just love to do. So those are the two ways that you can work with us. Those promos are good for about the next 20 minutes, and then they go to normal price tomorrow. And I'm certain that people will still buy tomorrow because that's the way that I buy, and we attract who we are. I'm typically the person who waits and forgets to shop, and then the next day I end up paying full price. And what goes around comes around. So I won't be surprised if people buy tomorrow full price. But if you're someone who likes to save your cash moolah, go shop right now. So ladies, that is our day. It was a little bit more woo than I thought it was going to be. It was a very vulnerable space for me, but I think it's important to share our truth and be who we are. And I would rather people love me for who I really am than like me for someone that I'm actually not. So I just speak my truth, and here we are. Today was so fun with you. I'm so grateful for all of you who are already inside of Elite Turbo Glam. If you have been a client in the past and you're playing in the energy again, welcome back. Would love to have you in Elite Turbo Glam. A lot has changed. It's super high vibe. Brand new content every month, brand new product launches every month, 5% off site-wide for our members. That's fun. First access to all pop launches, over 50 tutorial videos added to monthly. It's a vibe. If you're new to my world, welcome. And I'm very excited about the possibility that we might be spending the rest of the year together inside of Elite Turbo Glam or Confidence on Command. All right, ladies, have the best day. We'll be back tomorrow to tie things out. Tomorrow, we're really going to deep dive on beauty blocks, like the blocks that people have around really being visible for their brands, for their destiny, for the life of their dreams. We're going to do some mindset coaching tomorrow. It's going to be real fun. So I'll see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I thank you so much for being here and helping me to be pleasantly preoccupied in these last couple of weeks of pregnancy. All right. Love you, ladies. Bye.